Okay, I'm going to talk about factors right now. Factors are one of the most important math skills really that you'll ever do. They were introduced a little bit in the 3rd grade and 4th grade, but they're extremely important, especially in the 5th grade. And so factors but are used throughout all math ever. Great factor people are who really become great mathematicians, and there's no level of math that does not use them. And so here's the problem we've got to talk about factors. It says that Ali has 18 stamps. And you'll notice that I have 18 very poorly drawn stamps here. And he arranges them, as you can see, in sets of 3. And what you're going to notice immediately is this forms an array. And you'll notice that there's actually 6 sets of 3 to give 18. And most of us have connected, of course, that this goes along with the fact that 6 times 3 equals 18. Right? And so we recognize that this is a 6 by 3 array that shows us 18 stamps. And the question is, what are the factors here? And we're also going to talk about a word called multiples that we'll use more later. But what I'd say is a factor is a way that a number can be arranged in sets. And so, for example, you can have 3 sets of 6. So if we had the factors of 18, we would say that 3 is a factor of 18. Now, some of you notice that I actually could have, instead of doing 3 sets of 6 sets of 3, I could have done 3 sets of 6, right? I could have actually said 1 set of 6, 2 sets of 6, 3 sets of 6. In other words, multiplication is commutative. 3 times 6 is also 18. And the reason that's important is because 6 is also a factor of 18. What I want you to do is think of what are some other ways Ali could have arranged his 18 stamps. Why don't you pause the video and write what other kinds of arrays he's written. And then when you're done, you can play again and we'll list the other ways he could have written this. Okay, I hope you've thought of some other ways he could have drawn his 18 stamps. Probably the one that most people thought of was he could have done them in sets of 2, right? He could have had 2, and then he would have had 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, he could have had 18, which of course, that is 9 sets of 2. So we know that 2 is a factor of 18, but we also know we could have done 2 sets of 9, and so 9 is a factor of 18. Now, the other one people could have come up with is they could have recognized that he could have just had 1 18 times. And I'm not going to draw all 18 of those because that's going to take me a long time and you get the idea. But what we notice is the factors of 18. We have all the pairs of factors that give us 18. 3 times 6 is 18, 2 times 9 is 18, and 1 times 18 is 18. And some people notice this forms a little rainbow. I did mine under, so it's like an upside down rainbow here. But you can always link your factors. These are all the different ways of arranging 18. And so we call that the factors of 18.